Mountains are one of the most famous landmarks that a country can have, and something that is part of many people's bucket lists. Be it wanting to climb to its peak, to just sightseeing on the wonderful scenery of the mountainside. Being some of the most intimidating yet wonderful places to explore in the entire world, it is no wonder that mountains sparks legends and myth surrounding them. From gods living to its very peak, to monstrosity dwelling within as to explain its wonders. Some of them even gets a chance to become part of the roster of demons within the Megaten franchise, in varying importance to its plot and how they fare against other demons. Thought for today's spotlight, we will take a tour around to see the wild tales of a more obscure denizen of the mountainside within the franchise. So welcome once again to the Demon Compendium, and for this episode, we will take a look at the folktale of the hairy cyclopean kappa of the western mountainside, Yamawaro. Yamawaro is one of those demons who has little to no major screen time in any game they are in, and while appearing in the mainline series on occasion, they are relegated into filler just like some of the demons within the franchise. Despite that, they do appear multiple times within the franchise outside the series they are introduced in, and even have a minor cameo in a certain manga. As such, in order to understand the appearances of the cyclopean kappa, we must first dive deep into the history behind Yamawaro. Yamawaro is a specific type of yokai found in mountainous areas in western Japan, usually described as that of a humanoid with intricate fur and hair all over their body and head respectively, sometimes having their size compared to that of a 10-year-old boy, which is around 4 feet in height. Though many description and depiction of this creature describe them to be resembling one as well. Sometimes described as having pointy ears like those of a dog, they have two recognizable parts in most of their depictions, which are the single eye just above their nose, similar to the western cyclops, and a bald spot similar to that of a kappa. Capable of understanding and speaking human languages, as well as mimicry of sounds, they are sometimes encountered by lumberjacks in mountainous areas who they help in their work, provided they are continuously pleased with foods or beverages such as alcohol and rice ball. Though they are easily angered when not getting what they want or what their offer promise, and in some cases, they will escape with a gift if given before work. They love sumo, similar to their aquatic counterpart that is the kappa, and like them, they lure like horses and cattle, and will pull pranks of both harmless and harmful nature to them. One source also says that in addition to that, the Yamawaro also didn't like carpentry ink lines, and those lines of ink are used to prevent them from coming close to the area. While another source states that they usually feed on plants and crab for the most part, except when given an offering. Meanwhile, many sources says that they are suspected as culprit of many strange events throughout western Japan, especially in the prefecture in Kyushu, where legends of a Tengu or a local mountain god are mostly absent. These strange events include, but are not limited to, mimicking sounds of the mountainside such as falling logs and stone, to imitating human songs and dynamites. Another aspect of their mythology is their connection with the much more famous kappa, which goes beyond their similarities in appearance and personalities. Many accounts state that they are actually the same yokai, appearing as one or the other depending on the locale and season. In these accounts, kappa migrates into the mountain from their watery home during autumn and return to the bodices of the water they call home in spring, becoming kappa once more. When they migrate, they will make holes on houses that happen to be on pathways of their mass migration, and when you do witness one, you will get sick. These legends, while serving as an explanation between the similarities of these yokai, are likely based on ancient history of changing worship due to changes of season and real-life migration of animals in the region, and also serves as a warning, especially to those who plan to build houses, especially on the more unsuitable areas of the mountain, something that we apply to this very day with more knowledge than before. First debuted in Devil Summoners, their main design is that of a large, muscular cyclopean humanoid with the signature bald spot found among many depictions of Kappa and their relatives. With their sclera greenish blue and pupil dark blue, they have green moss-like beard and hair that also cover their shoulder and presumably parts of their torso, as well as wearing a garment that appear to have elements for the Shinemawa rope used in ceremonial practices, or those worn by champions of sumo wrestling, thought that is just a stretch. With that in mind, I can see that this design emphasizes the strength aspect of the Yamawaro, with their love of sumo and the ability to help in strength-based activities. Overall, a nice and cool design, and one of the designs that I instantly liked the moment I first encountered them in Strange Journey. Gameplay-wise, they are consistently part of the brute race in all of their appearances, which is quite fitting thanks to Yamawaro's love of sumo and their strength, as well as the fact that most of the brute race are usually strong ogres of Japanese origin. Speaking of origin, while they do debut in Devil Summoners, they didn't appear at all in subsequent games in that series, though they do appear in the 3DS mainline games. In all of their appearances up to today, they lean on being a physical-oriented demon stat-wise, though their resistances may differ, with their physical resistances and electric weakness in their debut game change into weakness against Expel and Curse in the mainline games, with Shin Megami Tensei 4 Duology adding a resistance to ice attacks while reintroducing their physical resistances. Their affinity to have changed over their appearances, with their debut see them having ailment-inducing skills as their default skill, in addition to fire magic, for some reason, to being more likely to inherit wind and ailment magic than physical skills, because, once again, reasons, to being more physical-oriented skill-wise, thought you can also make them inherit ailment-inducing skills, thought they are less suited in the job in Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. Well, at least you can have a wind and fire casting Yamawaro that also induce elements in Shin Megami Tensei 4. Intriguingly enough, while they didn't appear in any of the Persona games at all, they do have an appearance in the manga spin-off called Persona Crime and Punishment, a manga that is said to take place before Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. In the very first chapter of the manga, they are one of the first demons that Kazumi Kiba meets inside the factory, alongside other demons such as Tofei, Yato no Kami, Onmoraki, Itsunade, and Yoei. These demons are ordered to kill the protagonist by none other than his own friend, Ryutoshi Mizu, but all of them are felled by his recently awakened persona, Yama, which in turn ends the screen time of the Yamawaro in the manga. While overshadowed by other famous demons originated in Japan, and their more obscure yet recognizable counterparts, Yamawaro is one of the demons that I like for their striking appearance and the trick behind it. Learning about their background and connection to the more famous kappa, my interest in them has peaked. I have to say, they are quite unique, and I hope that we may be able to see them again in future titles. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this demon? Do you think we may be able to see them again in the later installment of the franchise? What information do I miss? And what information is downright wrong? Tell me down in the comment section below, and see you guys in the next video. Farewell, and have a nice day to all of you.